The new year has come, and what? Because 2025 started, that means you can't start planning? Of course you can. No matter when you start, take these 5 steps. What's up, everyone? My name is Natalie Walters, and I am the founder of Reset with Nat. Thank you for joining me. Now, today's conversation is all about 2025, your journey, your life, your vision, your mission, and what are your goals that you are looking to achieve. Some people have started off 2025 in advance. They've planned in advance for the year. And sometimes that doesn't happen for others. Sometimes you just don't know what it is that you want to do. And why is that? Because you know what? Maybe you may have been content with what's been happening, and you know what? You're not ready for change. Or sometimes you were not in the position to make change in your life. There may have been some setbacks and it was not your time. The new year has come, and what? Because 2025 started, that means you can't start planning? Of course you can. Start planning in the middle of 2025. It all depends on you. But what I would suggest is no matter when you start, take these 5 steps. Reset. Reset stands for refocus. Think about what it is that you're doing that's working for you. Is it something that you want to work harder towards achieving more results on that thing? Or is it, I want to try something new? And if you want to try something new, think about, why are you attracted to that thing? How can you implement that thing? If it's something that you really, really, really want to explore and move forward with, then you're going to need to get educated. Get educated. Start to learn about whatever it is that you want to move into. So for myself, when I came into the financial industry, it was through the life insurance services. Someone came to me, they introduced me to life insurance, the importance of life insurance. They then told me, look, there's opportunities within this industry. And I decided, you know what? Yeah, I want to explore it. And what I did was I had to learn about the different types of life insurance. I had to learn about the needs of people to match the insurance with the person's need. I had to learn about how you calculate how much insurance a person needs. I had to learn about the other financial services that people need to, or the other areas of life and services that people need to include to make sure that their insurance meets their family and individual needs, or their living needs and their needs after death. Very, very extensive research has to be put into this particular field, because there are so many different products, there are so many different companies. And the thing is, I operate as a broker. So it's also making sure that I'm staying up to date with the information as it changes, knowing that some people may require insurance here, others may require insurance here. There's a lot of different research. So I had to get educated on what the product was, or whatever the service was that I was going into. And I would suggest that you take the time, that if you made your decision, I want to go further in this particular area, or I want to try something new. Once you decide to refocus, and that's going to be your idea, and that's what you're moving forward with, take some time to get educated. You can also do informational interviews. Meet people who are already in the industry and see if they will be willing to have a conversation with you about what it is that they do. Sometimes you're going to have someone that's going to be so happy to talk about their industry and what it is that they do, because they're very passionate. More times you're going to find that. And then there's going to be the odd time where you're going to find somebody that's just like, I don't do that type of thing. And you know what? Then you keep it moving. But I would suggest finding someone and doing an informational interview on whatever area of focus it is that you're going into, because there's nothing like hearing from someone that's already done it. What could happen when you have that informational interview is they can give you a segue of how to cut going through certain experiences that may take very long for you to reach your goal. They could give you certain cautions. They could give you certain gems to set you up and set you ahead. There's a lot of different things that you may experience and you will learn from other people that have the experience. There's also, I mean, people are people, so you might also hear some people speak some very negative things, and that could be their experience. But it doesn't mean that that has to be your setback. Don't do one for informational interview, do more than one. How did I come up with the idea of informational interviews? Well, I took a course called Second Career. So when I was a hairdresser way back, and I was changing careers. For Second Career, which is a program that is offered by the Ontario government, they said, listen, for you to qualify, you need to do informational interviews. If you're saying that you want to go into this industry, you need to do informational interviews and speak to people in the industry, ask them questions, write it down, and then see how it matches the need that you have and your interests to decide if this is where you're going to go. And then I had to do a report after. Well, that was for me to be qualified for Second Career. I'm only giving you this idea because I think it would be a great way to help you decide, you know what, this interest that I have, is it something that I really want to invest my time in and money into? Because when you're starting a business, there's expenses, right? And a lot of the times, if you're not getting any grants or any funding or any donations or anything like that, you're starting off on your own. It's coming out of your pocket. So instead of just jumping in and then trying to figure it out, why not ask questions and find out and get some assistance on what to do and how to do it if you can, for free. You can also research online. A quick Google search, going on Google Trends. Those are websites where statistics are, and you can do a lot of research to see the demand, the need, different ways that you can market yourself, what areas where you will you see the most demand, and that's geographical areas. Also, there are books, lots of books. There's YouTube University. There is the comment section on social media, so you can start researching that particular field and just reading through the comment section from other professionals and seeing what are their clients saying, what is the person promoting on their page, what are the things that they talk about, and see if it aligns with what your mindset is for that particular vision. So attend webinars. If there's free webinars that somebody's hosting, attend those. It's just making sure that you're getting as educated as you can. So that way, you know what? It's always great to make an educated decision before just jumping in, especially if you're in your later ages. You can recognize that time, we have a lot of time in life if you get to live a long and fruitful life. However, who knows? We don't know what time we have. So while we have it, let's try to make proper use of it. Strategize is the next step. That's where we're going to start looking at, okay, so this is what I want to do. And this is where I'm going to go and start. I need to do this, I need to do that, and I need to start then because the start date for such and such, if I have to take a course, it starts on this date. I need to get this much funds together so I can take this class, or I'm going to be taking night classes or 1 and 2 webinars, and I have to fit this in with my regular job. Or if you don't have a job, you just need to make sure that you schedule it in with your family responsibilities. You make sure that you're strategizing, not only where you're going to start, but how you're going to tie it into your current lifestyle. So that way, and that's where you can look at it as time blocking, or just making sure you have a calendar and structuring yourself so you are able to meet your current obligations and then include something else. It may also mean that in your strategizing, it's discussions that you may have to have with people within your household to let them know, or even other people that you know, to say, listen, this is something that we used to do, and right now I'm getting ready to jump into this particular thing. So the time that I used to do that with you, I can't do that because I'm really going to be focusing on this. So your strategizing is all about making sure that you know what you need to be doing. And then if other people need to know what you need to be doing, they can be informed. And making sure that in your strategy, you're setting up a time, right? a time frame. You're recognizing, okay, this is the start date and this is the end date. This is the cost. And after I do this, this is next. Now knowing and understanding that life is life. I'll even tell you in the area of strategizing, you have to be aware that life is life and life will life. So in the event of you wanting to do something, guess what will happen? Sometimes a few things will show up and it will just deter you or take you off course for a little bit. And that could happen. And it could be something that you just have to stop that thing. And I'm going to prepare you for if you have to stop, knowing that self care is important, pivoting is important. But it does not mean that it has to be permanent unless you're put into a situation where you're not able to move forward again. Then that's something different. You have to know that at some point in life, it's either because life has its ups and downs. Sometimes things go smoothly and there's nothing that stops you. And then all of a sudden, everything's going smoothly. And it's like, if the happens, don't sit down. Don't feel depressed. Don't feel frustrated. Focus on whatever needs to be handled, taken care of, and know that whatever you started is something that can be continued once you're in a better position, a better place, or your time is freed up once again. You don't need to worry about the fact that, man, this put a wrench into whatever I was doing, yada, yada, yada. Okay, be disappointed. No problem. Disappointment happens. I experienced it in the last quarter of 2024. Gosh, the last quarter of the year was for me, right? But at the same time, I was told by multiple people, self care. Take care of yourself, Natalie. Take care of yourself, Natalie. And you know what? I had to start doing that. I had to start knowing that, okay, I won't be able to because I like posting online. I like to get on social media and I like to interact with people and I like to do this. And yeah, well, guess what? I don't have time for it all. It takes a lot out of you. And at the same time, you know what? There's a lot of life that's happening and I had to rest and I had to get myself back into the position that when I showed up again, I can show up and feel very, very good. I could show up and know that I'm rested, I'm recovered, my issues are resolved, or I've known how to manage whatever is going on and I feel confident to be back up and doing whatever it is. So, in the strategizing and all the planning, it's making sure that you know that life will life. And if it does, it's okay. Listen, we don't want to stop. I'm just saying, if life gets involved, we're going to keep going. If nothing happens, we're going to keep going. And that's where we go into the execution stage, which is basically just bang, it's time to put the action in place. What date does it start? What time does it happen? How long is it happening for? Is having all of that in place and just doing it over and over and over again. It's that repetition and consistently moving on whatever it is, right? So at the end of the day, you will get to the point where you see the transformation. So this isn't only applied to if you're doing a business. This applies to anything. I remember coaching a client and he was working with me on the reset for his personal finances and budgeting and whatnot. And he was saying to me, I do checkups. So after he finished the reset program, I had called him to follow up a little while after, and he said to me, Nat, and it was probably about 4 or 5 months later. He's like, I was doing something, and I used the reset on doing that particular thing, and it had nothing to do with his finances. He was like, listen, I just had to start over. And I figured, you know what? Okay, so what do I need to know? I thought about it and I was like, yeah, what do I need to know? And I put the strategies in place and yada, yada. And I was like, that's right. The reset applies to anything. It's just that I work in the financial industry. And then at the same time, I figure, you know what? That's why I talk about it in personal finance, but I know that it applies to anything else that you want to do in life. So if you are a person who has not started your goal setting for 2025 and you are thinking about what to do, or you have a few ideas and you're ready to execute, well, it's time. It's time. get yourself a pen, a paper, or if you are a person who loves the digital world and you're all about typing it out, get yourself writing down the acronym RESET. And if you need help, if you need a coach in that particular area, if you need some type of support, make sure you find that person. And then transformation is something that's going to take time. It's not going to, you're not going to see it all in right away. I mean, I don't know. Some people they do, some people don't. But at the same time, there's patience. And I will end this video off by talking about the importance of being patient. What is for you is for you. I believe that when you are moving in your purpose and you're moving with integrity and you're moving feeling fulfilled, you will understand and you will not be looking at what other people like you can look, you can admire, you can see that other people move different or how they do their thing. You can be inspired, but you're not jealous. You're not having a comparison spirit because at the end of the day, everybody's life is different. And what goes on in your immediate circle and within your home is not the exact same as what goes on in that other person's home, or your abilities and their abilities are different. Be focused on yourself. Be focused on your mission, your values, your goals, your desires. Have faith. I don't know if you're a believer, but if you believe in God, I'd say pray. If you're not, or you believe in, I'd say affirmations, do all of those things, like just positive thinking. Make sure you keep positive things around yourself. So if you've watched this video to this point and you have a goal for yourself for 2025 and you set it, just write, I'm ready in the comment section. And if you have not set your goals or you have not set in your intentions for 2025, but you're going to use the reset as a form of a strategy on how to plan as a way to plan out your 2025, I'm with you, girl. I'd like to thank you for tuning in. If you are not a subscriber, please feel free to subscribe to the Reset with Nat channel. Share it with someone who you think would benefit from the episode, and I appreciate you being here. Until next time, you take care, and with everything you do, have faith, stay focused, and follow through. Many blessings.